Oh man, I was like, did I time those beeps out right? I don't think I did. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Brick World. Good morning, Bearded Brix. How are you today?
Good. What about you?
I'm okay. Just I was like I was saying before the stream started. Some days, things go smooth and great, and then some days it seems like you're just tripping over every single thing when you're walking. Just you step on the rake and it hits you. Like I remember there's a Simpsons episode when the guy with the funny hair, he was the sideshow guy or whatever from Krusty. But yeah, he was like walking in his field, and every time he turned around, man, he'd step on a rake and it'd smack him in the face. Then he'd turn around and step and smack him in the face too. I don't know. That's what this morning felt like. I don't know. I was trying to get some stuff together, some last minute pictures and stuff like that. And I don't know, man. I just had a lot of technical difficulties. I thought maybe it was just me.
It might just be you.
It probably is, but there were some other outside factors going on.
You were saying the stuff about Instagram, and I went to Instagram on my computer, and I'm seeing everything like normal.
Yeah, I don't know. It said something about the latest version or something like that. So, like I said, on my phone, I can see everything fine. On the computer, some stuff I can't see. So maybe, like I said, I just got to update the
everything
Instagram
always needs updates.
It does. So just a couple things real quick before we get started, everybody. The theme today is LAN. Now I got to tell you real quick before we get too much into stuff. I'm going to try my best to not seem like I'm just crapping all over LAN. Okay, when we talk about it, I'm going to put a poll out there in just a few minutes. And remember, the poll is anonymous. So you answer freely how you feel about stuff, okay? That's why I like that poll, because it's completely anonymous. So I'll put that out in a few minutes. But I just want everybody to know, man, like, I don't want to just crap on LAN. But I am going to reach out to everybody to ask everybody's opinions on it, what they feel it does for the community, just stuff like that. Because as always, I like to be proven wrong. If I'm proven wrong, that means I just learned something. I'm not too egotistical to be like, I mean, if I feel I'm right about something, that's different. Then we can have a debate or an argument about it. But I like to be proven wrong. So that being said, the other thing I want to add to that is any reviews I have on LAN, I don't want anybody to feel like I have that same view on a LAN member, okay? Even if there are things about that might happen with LAN members that I don't agree with or don't like, it doesn't reflect them as a person, okay? Think of it as like an actor and their acting. Their role in a movie, they might have sucked, but I'm not going to go crap on the actor. That's.
Are you saying that LAN members are actors?
Okay. That's not really what I was saying, but we'll get into that, I guess. Because look, I have a lot of friends that are in LAN. I have friends that were in LAN. So that part is irrelevant. Okay. All right. The other thing I wanted to just mention before we get the show started is Brick Babe. She just couldn't be here today. She's got a lot of things going on, and I think she's feeling a little under the weather as well. So not a big deal. Just don't want to freak out or anything like, oh my God, you lost another member. No, she's just not here today. So it happens occasionally. I keep telling these two, I'm like, dude, there's gonna be a day I'm gonna be like, I can't come in today, man. You guys are gonna have to cover the show.
Before you start your good mornings, you have a member for 12.
Oh snap, Brick Sergeant. All right, let me do a thing. You know what? I've done Devastator a lot, so we'll go ahead. We'll do Voltron. Let's do Voltron.
Activate interlock. Dynatherms connected. Infracells up. Mega thrusters are go. Let's go, Voltron!
Classics, dude. The classics. I'm telling you. I gotta think
of
some more.
I like that one as much as the one of Devastator, though. That one of Devastator is like,
dude, that Devastator one's freaking hardcore, man. Like, I feel like I should be working out, man, when that thing's playing. Like,
someone built the Devastator at Brick Fair, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
Did they build that one or the old school?
No, the old school one that's green and purple. Yeah,
and see, and eventually, I think I might do a version of that one. That one was even. I don't know. I gotta figure out a way to do that one. But yeah, there are a couple other ones I really want to mess with. If anybody's got any membership ideas for me, to do the thing, let me know, because the whole point is I want it to be like that's why I did Voltron. That's why I did Devastator, like a coming together kind of thing, on the membership part. So you guys, I don't know if you think of something similar that would work.
You're the Captain Planet.
That's another one, right? Captain Planet would be a good one. Heck yeah, dude. Good call. Good call. But Brick Sergeant, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Everything everybody does for this channel, man. I tell you what, it really, really helps. Every month I look at all the analytics, man, the data and stuff like that. And I'm like, you guys are so good to be in this channel, I swear. And it just gets stronger and stronger, So, all right. Let's get down to the good mornings, and we'll get this show on the road because we have some other stuff to talk about as well. Christine Harper, good morning. Good morning. Brickman USA, good morning to you. Christine, also, again, it was really awesome meeting you in person. Christine and Will, Wayne, they all came over to the cookout last week. Gosh, was it last Sunday? Man, time's flying, dude. I tell you what.
I know.
So it was a good time. Ate some food. You know what I mean? Got to talk about Lego, and they came down here, of course. And I don't know. Anytime anybody's in here, man, like, doesn't matter who it is, my friends, her friends, or whatever. It's like watching people in a museum, So let's see here. There's Bearded Brix. Good morning to you, sir. Brick Adjuster. What is going on? Yeah, some of the couple things I wanted to talk about today actually was thankful to Brick Adjuster, and man, I kind of remember. I'll have to look up the person's name. That I want to say it was Brick Fan Builds, but yeah, they gave us some good information. So I was really happy about that. So thank you, Brick Adjuster. So, anyways, my bricks and me. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. No more bricks in the house, Harold.
Oh, more.
The castle man. I tell you. Actually, I don't even like saying that because he's way more than a castle man, but lately it just feels fitting to call him Castle Man. Jesse's Brick Galaxy, what's going on? Woo! Good morning, Dude Jude. What is going on, Dude Jude? I gotta get your giveaway gift out. Let's see who's out there. Wizard. Yeah, I know, right? I gotta start using that word a little more often.
Wizard.
Yeah, it's a Star Wars thing. Even though, real quick, look, I know we're doing the good mornings. I'm sorry to interrupt the good mornings, man, but let me ask you guys. Look, so because he just made me think of that. So in Star Wars, like this new catchphrase thing they're saying is wizard or whatever, is in the Mandalorian or whatever. But there's certain words in the Star Wars universe that I'm like, is that in the Star Wars universe? Like, do they have wizards? Is that what they call them? Like wizards? Like we call people wizards? You know what I mean? Like the Millennium Falcon. Are there Falcons in the Star Wars universe? I mean, I guess there would be technically, maybe in a certain kind of point of view, because it's in our universe, because they say it's in a galaxy far, far away. So it's not like Falcons flew over to, the Star Wars universe or anything. So, I mean, it's just, there's other words in the Star Wars universe like that I'm like.
It's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away in the future.
I mean, what are the odds? What are the odds they would have Falcons, right? So, anyways, moving on. There is Wayne right there. Good morning, Wayne. How are you doing? Thank you again for showing up and hanging out. It was good meeting you. Camel City Brick House. Good morning to you.
What's up, Gene?
Brent's Bricks. Good morning, Brent. Thanks for hanging out the other night, man. That was fun. Brent's such a good dude, man. Represent a couple brickheads. If you guys aren't watching them, then definitely go check them out. Macro Bricks in the house. Macro, I was watching your stream, and yeah, what a surprise. Mrs. Macro Bricks was on there. And you know what? Mrs. Hive was watching some of Macro's stream with me, and I kept looking at her, like, yeah, see, look, there's Mrs. Macro Bricks. What's going on? I don't know, man. She keeps teasing me, all the time. Hey, you streaming? Maybe this is the day. And I'm like, really? I was like, announce it. She's like, let me think about it. I'm like, God. So, all right. The Brick Fanatic. Good morning. How are you doing? Thank you so much for being here. Two Humble Bricks. Good morning. Good morning. I hope everyone is doing well. Yes, we're doing well. I hope you're doing well also. Andre, good morning. What's going on? I hope you're doing well today. Multigasm Geek in the house. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for being here. Where are we? Goodness gracious. Like the chat moves fast sometimes. The Hunter's Cantina. That is a rad name. Especially considering some of the drama that's been kind of floating around me lately.
That should have been the name of your instead of hot streams. You should have been called the Hunter's Cantina.
Dude, the other day, man, when I had a Hive stream, I was like, man, it's like so quiet. Like, where's everybody? Anyways, let's see here. Pink Wheels. Good morning.
Built it and they did not come.
Thank God, dude. Andre says, "Hey, Hive, I came to Brick Fair, Virginia, and you weren't there." Yeah. Look, I'm gonna say something. It's nothing really against you, Andre, because you know, I like you a lot. You know what I mean? And again, this doesn't reflect on you, but if I had a nickel for every time someone mentioned about how I didn't go to Brick Fair, and if I had a penny for every time someone gave me shit about not coming to Brick Fair, I'd be a rich man. Yeah, it just wasn't in the cards, man. Mostly it had to do with money, but there was certain things kind of revolving around me that it probably wouldn't have been appropriate for me to leave at that particular time. So, you know, these things happen. But Andre, definitely, if you can, go to Brick World Chicago this year. What is it, June? Yeah, it's in June. I'll definitely be there. And I should hopefully not have a problem coming to Brick Fair next year. So I did miss it. Don't get me wrong. I miss seeing all my friends. Steve Weiser, what's up?
So I finally plan on going to Brick World. I guess I'm gonna break the mold.
Dude, it's so awesome, man. And look, my personal opinion, with the exception of, and this is a close second, with the exception of the yard sale. I'm sorry, Brick World just is better. You know, not by leaps and bounds or anything like that. Just enough to, man, where it's like just more comfortable and stuff like that. Where we at? Jumper Plate. Good morning. Yeah, Jumper Plate. I got a little bit of announcement for you. I'm gonna do something similar in vein to what Brick Babe has planned. You know, for like the community corner. I was even gonna make a thumbnail on it. Like a picture for it and everything, but I didn't have time. But yeah, anyways, everybody, I will be showing off something that Jumper Plate did. So that'll be a little bit later. Where we at? Brick Sergeant says, I am sorry I didn't come as much in the last few weeks, but I am still dealing with bad things in my life. Yeah, no, that's understandable, Brick Sergeant. You know, I mean, we all have lives, you know, and that's the thing, is it's real easy for all of us, you know, nobody in particular, you know, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, like we all do it, but it's easy for all of us to look at each other and be like, yeah, it shouldn't be a problem for them to do this or that or whatever, and not knowing, you know, and not just that. Real quick, I also try and have that perspective on just people in general in life. It's not easy sometimes, especially for someone like me that has like a temper, but I try to say, like, you know, okay, step back. You know, what have they been dealing with that maybe that's making them act like that? You know what I mean? Like, you just don't know, man. Because look, I can tell you what, if I'm having an extremely bad day, I might not take it out on you, but you'll see it on my face or my demeanor or the tone of my voice or whatever. Danny Vandoms, good morning. Hunter Skinny says, I think I'll be heading over to the Lego store in Kenwood this fine morning. Probably pick up a Pick-a-Brick cup and a few of the new Star Wars sets. Yeah, I want to keep tabs too, in a way. Everybody out there, and you don't have to go crazy on this, but in the chat, let me know if you still have the cups, or if you got boxes now for your paddle.
We're all still cups down here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm still on the cups too. Brick Babe would probably be able to tell me easily about the other Lego store, but I'm pretty sure that one's still in cups as well. And you know, one of the things that I want to bring up about the cups, because I know some people might get mad, and I'm sorry, but you can look up facts as facts. Most recycling is not only is it more costly and everything, but it's worse for the environment. It puts up more CO2 into the air and everything, more trucks that pick things up, more factories that you got to put stuff through, more chemicals for the papers and all that. So, and as far as like trees, they don't go just cut down any forest. I mean, they create trees for paper and all that. But the point I'm making is, their argument about for the environmental purposes is just like, I take what they say about the environmental stuff, I crumble it up, and I just throw it over my shoulder. Like that's not even an excuse or a reason for me to have this debate with Lego about that stuff. So my whole thing is cost. Is it cheaper for them to make those boxes than it is the Pab cups? And I have the very, very sneaky, suspicious feeling that it's a lot cheaper for them to make those boxes than it is the Pab cups. And what makes me angry is not only do they not help their customer out a little tiny bit with the cost, but they're going to start raising the cost even more. So that's one of the things that I don't like about the boxes. Now, if you can fit 15 more bricks in the box than you can in the cup, well, you know what? That's awesome. Whoop-de-doo. But I personally like the cups better. They're better for storage, in my opinion. You can stack them. They're not going to break down or rip up or whatever.
That was what
and you can. And another thing that I've seen a lot of people bring up is, about bringing up, can you still gonna be able to bring your cups to get them filled? You know what I mean? And get that slight, whatever it was, like discount. I don't know if it's like a nickel or a quarter or something.
But that's the thing. When you buy a Pick-a-Brick cup, I mean, you take the cups home to reuse them. If you take a box home, you're more than likely just going to throw that box away.
Yeah, but like I said, that's I think it's more about cost. Anyways, but that's made me think about that when you're talking about the pad wall. Where else are we going here? Where else are we going? Did I get it? No, I didn't get everybody. I know there's still people down there. Let's see here. Sorry, everybody. What's going on, Rusty? Good morning to you.
What's up, Rusty?
Thank you for being here. Brickman USA. I can't remember if I said good morning or not, but if I didn't, good morning. Cheers. Andre, I love the laughter, man. Look, that's what I'm talking about. I love it when people can have fun and take it a little joke and stuff like that, man. The brick roll was my first also. Nice. That's a good first one, man. But in a way, it's kind of a bad one because I feel like you can't really go up after brick roll, and it's only going to be going down because it's like the best one in the world. And I say that out of with humbleness. I've only, what people have told me, like people that know way more about the Lego community than I probably ever will. They've been in it a lot longer. They know more of the ins and outs and stuff. And every one of them have told me Brickworld is the best. The best mock builders go to Brickworld. You'll see the best mocks at Brickworld. It's a big deal. So you're a wizard, Luke. Well, what was their there's nicknames too for the Jedi. What were they called? Sky Wizards or something? I'm trying to remember. Greg, good morning. Leonard Bridge Bricks in the house. How are you doing, my friend? Cajun, what's going on with you? How are you? Let's see. I stopped taking the cups home. I used the cups in the store, then dumped them in the bag. See, and that's honestly, that's somebody that does care about the environment very much too. A lot of the
Lego stores won't let you do that now because the cups is how they keep up with the inventory of what they have on the Pick-a-Brick wall. So they make you take the cups.
Well, couldn't they just throw them away?
The last time when I went to the Lego store, I got 4 cups and I was like, I don't want the cups. I was like, I have tons of them at home. I just want to dump it in a bag. And they were like, no, you got to take the cups either way.
Dude, I was just thinking if I was in the Lego store and I saw that and I told the employee, just throw them away. They're all like, no, we recycle. Anyways, I kid. But yeah, it's an interesting topic. I will say that. And something a little addendum to that. And we can talk about it maybe a little bit more when we talk about this in the news in just a few minutes. But the CMF boxes. Now, this is a little bit more, it's not a clear-cut argument because I haven't looked at the facts, so I don't want to talk too much smack about it. But just a general question for everybody out there. Do you think it's cheaper for them to make the CMF boxes compared to having them into the plastic bags? That I don't know. I feel like the boxes could even be more expensive, to be honest with you.
Have you bought one of the Mario collectible minifig things that come in the box?
Yes.
So I think that it is more expensive to make the plastic bags, and the boxes are better. But the also thing is those boxes are huge compared to what the parts are in them. So I mean, in a minifigure box like a CMF, you only have like 10 pieces in that box, if that.
And this is a silly thing, and I know I've seen it on the rounds on the internet or the memes and stuff about how the pieces are just loose in the box. It seems funny, right? like you look at it and you're like, you know, like what kind of packaging is that, right? But it makes sense. Like, what would they do? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, all the packaging, every Lego set you buy is loose in the box. They just bag different
well,
pieces.
and you know, they would get so much criticism too if they put plastic in the boxes too.
I saw a picture the other day of somebody opening one. I think it was like the CMF with Wolverine in it or something. And they were like, I didn't know that Lego had teamed up with Lay's potato chips.
Yeah, that's something else, man. One day I really need to make a rant about. You got a bag this big and like this much chips in it. It's like you. So all right, well, I guess connecting to the CMF boxes, let's go ahead and we'll get into oh, I guess I didn't time that out right. Yeah, so all right, I'm going to share the screen, and well, actually, we don't really need to share the screen yet. Oh, yeah, we do actually, because I need to show those pictures. So, all right, a couple things. The first thing I want to talk about was the CMF boxes, not into some of the stuff that we've already talked about generally. But one, you know, I was curious about the price, if it costs more, you know, that kind of thing. And I looked briefly, but it was kind of difficult to find something that could weigh in with some facts about how much that would cost.
It's got to cost less to make the box than it does the packaging.
I don't know, man. Everybody, what do you guys think out there? So yeah. I don't know. I keep thinking about it and I'm like, well, okay, it seems like the bags would cost less because I don't know. Again, I don't know what it entails to put the artwork, you know, the print and all that on the bag, but it would just seem like having a bag, print, seal, you know what I mean? However they seal it, ship, so to speak, where a box has got to be designed. It seems like the printing isn't quite just black and white. Like it's not that easy. I don't know. It seems more complex, but
the only thing that I would
totally
say
wrong.
would make it a lot, or would make it more money on the box side, is a bag can literally just be printed in a huge sheet and then like heat stamped to cut apart every so often. Whereas a box one of those boxes has to have some special machine that folds it. Because you got to think a bag is just like vacuum sealed, heated, and then cut, versus where not vacuum sealed, but sealed with like the heat press and then cut, versus where a box has to go to a whole other machine and be folded.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's so bizarre to me. It's sort of bizarre. I don't know, you know. Because again, the bigger question for me is like what more entails with making the bag, because the bag seems like it'd be easier, you know what I mean? But if I find out maybe there's more complexity to even getting the bag made, that definitely has a lot to look at.
Think of it like this way too: if you buy a bag of chips, they come in a bag, but like Cheez-Its come in a box. I wonder what the significance of that is.
Well, I would think that some of it has to do with the amount, you know, because that's something that I've brought up in the past on different streams and stuff, or just random conversations about how over time, and younger people wouldn't even know this because they're not old enough to know what cereal boxes look back like in the 90s and 80s and stuff like that. So something that a lot of companies have done, we'll take cereal boxes, for example, is when you look at them from the front, they look the same. The dimensions are all the same, unless you get like a family size or something like that. But the normal cereal boxes always look the same. But over the years, when you flip them on their side, they've gotten thinner and thinner and thinner. But the prices haven't changed. If anything, prices have still gone up. And that's how a lot of other things are. I've looked into a lot of this, man. Like jars, they used to be more flat on the bottom, and over time, they've gotten more and more concaved. And you know, you think about like a fraction of a whatever of a fraction of an ounce or something like that. It's not even a lot, but when you stack them up, and you're making millions of them. You know what I mean? Like that adds up to a lot of money. So that's something companies have done over time, you know, cutting corners and trying to find ways to be a little more deceptive about these costs, because clearly they don't tell you, you know what I mean? So that being said, real quick, I just wanted to add that I put a poll into the chat that's going to pertain to our topic of land in the next hour. And the poll is, do you think land is important?
Jumper Plate said it's kind of like the bottom of a pick a brick cup, but I will defend Lego in the fact that the reason why the pick a brick cup looks like that is because it's a Lego stud.
Yeah, that's different. As a matter of fact, I'm glad Lego does that because you stack them. That makes sense. Interlocking system, but like all this other stuff, even bars of soap. Bars of soap used to be thicker, bigger, more round. And again, now if you look at a lot of them, man, like the bottom of it's more concave. There's tons and tons and tons of things like that. If you really start researching that subject, you will be dumbfounded of all the things that over the years, and like I've said this before too, my line of work and maintenance and stuff like that. For instance, we used to, when we order garbage disposals, we get, order them in stock and all that. They'd come with a little Allen wrench. And that Allen wrench at the bottom of it, and you can unclog your garbage disposal if like something gets jammed in there. They don't do that anymore. Now you got to buy them separate, because that's something they did to cut costs. So, and sometimes it's not even like a good or a bad thing. I don't want you to think I'm necessarily complaining about it completely, because I understand, companies got to make money, but the problem is things like your quarterly reports and all that, man. No company wants to even stay stagnant. All they want to do is see like things go up, and it can lead to
Lego's going up.
Yeah, well, Lego's got their own things that they've done. You know what I mean? And again, I don't want to totally turn it into like a conversation about that. As a matter of fact,
the thing that I'm gonna really feel that they're gonna do a dumb mistake on is they're already talking about putting, which we've seen a couple of them with the paper bags in the Lego sets. But if people start complaining about their figures being rolled around in these boxes and getting scratches and stuff on them versus where the CMFs didn't when they were in bags, I wonder if they're gonna stick the paper bags in the paper box.
The only thing I don't like about the paper bags, is because you can't see through them. And just from my own personal experience, man, I can't tell you how many times, I didn't get all the pieces out, and I finally go back and I look in the bag, and I'm like, oh, now that's somebody could be like, oh, hi, all you gotta do is open it. Yeah, I guess, you know what I mean? But it's just easier just to look in the bag. And again, what is the purpose of them doing this? And again, your immediate response is environmental stuff. And I see Camel City Brick House's comment, which I'll highlight in just a second. But again, I see it as they're cutting cost because that material is cheaper than the plastic material.
Well, they're not going to, you got to think a company is never going to move to a point where they're giving you something like if the bags cost them 5 cents and the boxes cost them 10 cents, they're never going to move to the boxes just because of the environmental. They're going to move to the boxes because they're doing the boxes for 2 cents. That's the only reason. The company is going to go backwards.
Yeah, the boxes for the CMF, that's also clearly and we were talking about the price of either the box or the bag, like what's cheaper or whatever, but really ultimately it's about making it more. All right, look, I know this is going to be conspiracy talk for just a second, okay? Because I don't have proof of this.
But you got to think that the same argument with the CMF bags to the CMF boxes is the same argument as the parts bags to the parts bags being.
Well, the reason it's different is because there's a cost aspect to it, of course, but the cost aspect to the CMF boxes, I feel, is much different because they're trying to even eliminate us even feeling the bags. Well, so we have no choice but to buy them, because even if you buy them on eBay or Bricklink or whatever, that means the store still bought them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So that's what it's coming down.
But can't you go on the Lego's website and just straight buy a case of them, like a?
But that's going to lead into something I wanted to highlight here, because first everybody was talking about the weight aspect, and I was like, oh great, now I'm gonna have to look like a drug dealer when I go buy CMF boxes and stuff, but
hey, that's called advertising for your business.
However, Brick Adjuster
I want to see something real quick.
shared a picture with me. Well, pictures, I should say. And I wanted to show you guys them because they have they have these numbers now, these codes. Now, I haven't got too much into finding exactly how accurate they are, but I would assume that they are. You know, I don't think it's false info. And it was, I want to say it was Brick Adjuster. If you're out there, can you let everybody know in the chat who it was? I want to say it was Brick Fan. So as you're watching this, or if you're watching right now, you can write this stuff down. You can screenshot these images. But I'm showing you all of the codes for each CMF. So that way you can, because this is somebody, I can't remember who it was out in the chat, like not too long ago. Somebody was asking if maybe the codes might have something you can do. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow, that's a good idea. I wonder. And then here we go. All right, never mind. That was something else. All right. So those are the CMF codes. And there is the weight thing as well. I don't have that, but if you go to 1414 Falcon, which we're going to do in just a second, anyways, he has a post with the weight on there. Let me look at the chat really quick before we dive into something else in the news. Gabriel, good morning. I love pizza boxes. Employees assemble them in the store for customers. Nice. Justin, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? Is Lego using recycled cardboard or chopping trees down for all those boxes? That's a good question, though. I mean, look, again, the environmental part is steel, aluminum. There are certain things that are good to recycle. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? And I also believe in environmental friendly types of energy. Some people like to debate me on some of this stuff because I'm not totally against it, but I'm not really keen on nuclear. I definitely not good with fossil fuels, but that's not just for the environment, but we're going to eventually run out of fossil fuels. There's only so much of that, man. And we use a lot of oil on this planet. But I'm talking like we need to get the stuff like thermal energy, more solar, more hydroelectric, you know, like there's tons of things that we can totally utilize and have abundant energy, man. I'm telling you, it's not like a dream. Like there's abundance of energy out there. We just have to tap into it the right way. So I'm all for stuff like that, but putting your CMF in a box instead of a bag, that's not doing anything. So let's see here. Cereal comes in a box. No name cereal comes in a bag. That's a really good point. You're right. I feel like that's true. I feel like that's true, man. Shipping the boxes is probably more expensive because they take up more space. That's a good possibility. And I'm really leaning to agree with that. But at the same time, I feel like they're more organized, I think. So I don't know if the structure is more organized, if that helps or not. But I feel like definitely the weight, because the boxes would weigh more than the bags. So you're definitely going to be paying more in weight. So that's a good point. So, and look, I don't know. I feel like Lego probably really believes the environmental stuff. So maybe they're like, we'll pay a little bit extra to give the earth a bigger hug, you know? So yeah, I guess, you know, Multigasm Geek says, does Lego manufacture in house the boxes or in bags or outsource it? That's another good question for that, because that would take up more money if you outsource it or not, in my opinion. But I don't know. That's a whole thing that affects a lot of different companies, you know, like almost
with Lego having as many boxes and as many sets they do. If they don't do that in-house, they have a company somewhere that is doing that for probably really cheap per box.
I would imagine,
because you got to think they're not the person that's doing the Star Wars boxes aren't just doing the Star Wars boxes and then like the Lego themes are split up. That all that is probably done in one place.
Right. T-Mog, what's happening? How you doing? Multigasm also says I've looked in the past, but can't find any clear evidence at cost comparisons. Lego also doesn't reveal info. Yeah, you ain't kidding about that, man. Lego, they hold their info tight. They're like, no, can't find that out. Steve's Brick Cave. What the? Hold on a second, man. Hold on a second. Hold on. What's up? What's going on, Steve? Holy cow, man. I feel like it's been forever since I've seen you. I hope you're doing well, my friend. All right. So let's get on to the next thing here. So we are going to go to 1414 Falcons page for a minute. Because I'm not trying to rehash a lot of conversations that a lot of people have been talking about lately, but a couple new things that we will highlight upon. Let's talk about this Concorde for a second. I've seen a lot of hype about it. And, you know, it looks nice. And if you're into planes, and especially if you're into the Concorde, I mean, I could see why you would get it.
I believe the people that buy that are the people who buy like the space stuff. That's not something that you're going to see a huge amount of people go out and buy, in my opinion. It's cool and it's big, but it's not like I don't know. It's not something I would go after.
Nah, I mean, look, and this is one of those sets that if I had, if I was rich, I would get it because I like it. It looks nice, and you know, it'd probably look really nice sitting somewhere, you know, on display. But I'm not rich, and I don't really have room to display it anyways. So
that takes up a huge part of real estate on a shelf.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, dude. But yeah, they did a good job as far as the design goes. Even though it's, I don't know, man. Dude, I got mixed feelings about it because I like the design of it. I respect the architecture of it. You know what I mean?
Like I said, it
just looks kind of bland. I don't know, like it needs like flames painted on it or something. You know? I don't know. Maybe that's not the best thing to paint on a flame. But I'm just saying, dude, it just looks kind of bland.
It needs that World War II Jaws painted on the cockpit. Jaws.
So, but look, I don't know. What's everybody out there in the chat? I mean, you guys like this thing, man?
Brent said that the Concorde is a heater. I don't know about that though. I mean, it's a good looking set. It looks really cool. It's nice. It's just not something that I find that a bunch of people are going to run out and buy. And I might be totally wrong, but.
So even though I was looking at LifeBrix's comment here, even though me and him have slight disagreements on how gorgeous it is, but yeah, on my list, if I ever have an extra $200 burning a hole in my pocket, right? Yeah. But see, even that being said, do you know how many sets there are in front of this thing?
Andre said that says the guy that has the UCS Falcon in the background.
Oh, goodness gracious. I know, right? You know, and that's something that I think people should definitely be poking fun at me about. Because yeah, I have a $600 UCS set back there that's almost all completely gray.
So Brent said that it's really good it's big for $200, and it is, and I agree with that. But the problem is if you are ever to take that apart, are any of those pieces really going to be useful into building a mock?
Well, dude, nobody's gonna buy that for the pieces to build a mock. I mean,
no, but that you have to look at a Lego set in that way. A lot of Lego sets.
I don't have to look at a Lego set anyway. What are you talking about?
So you're gonna buy a set just because of what it is, with never the intentions of ever doing anything with it other than keeping it what it is, and it's something like that. Then it's not worth it at all.
Well, no, I mean it depends on what it is. There's some sets, yeah, that over time either I've lost interest in it or it wasn't as exciting as I wanted it to be, and you know, I'll piece it out. But like when I bought the '89 Batmobile, I didn't look at that and said, am I gonna be able to piece this thing out at some
point? But the Batmobile is way cooler than the Concorde, no matter what.
Well, but I know, and I agree with you. I 1000% agree with you on that one.
Now, if they would have painted that bad boy black and put the Batman logo on the side of it and gave us like a Batman Joker, I'm down.
But this is our subjective opinion. You know what I mean? Other people might be like, dude, the Batmobile sucks, man.
The weird
that Concorde, ooh, baby.
The weird thing about it is, like, after been building Brickmania's planes for so long and knowing that Lego is now coming out with this, it just means that like they see the attention that other people like. I'm serious, man. You paint that thing like OD green, put some jaws on the front of it, and attach some like striker missiles to it. You got it.
So I see Captain Cody Pro says it's just a jet. Hold on a second. Talk about environmentalism. Sorry, I can't talk. Concorde was the most inefficient passenger airplane in recent history. Go Google Concorde fuel burn per person. It's nuts. Thank you, Pig Wheels. Look, I normally don't like to just shove stuff in people's faces. You know what I mean? And I don't mean like you guys. I'm talking about Lego right now. But man, it's not just like, oh, I love a good burn. I love a good intellectual, factual burn.
You know,
When you throw a burn like that around, dude, people can't be like, what are you gonna do, dude? It's facts. Oh my god, Pink Wheels. Mwah.
I had a talk about this the
great.
other day with somebody. So they came out with the Concorde, right? That's a cool looking airplane, whatever.
All right.
It doesn't mean it's not like that big of an iconic plane that I know that they don't want to touch war, but what if they would have did Air Force One?
I feel like that would sell like hotcakes, dude. You know, every American would be like, America.
That makes more sense than the Concorde, though.
Excuse me. I mean, yeah, but they're not gonna do that. You're right. Well, I don't know. I mean,
technically, it's a military.
Our military people out there. What do you guys think? Would Air Force One be considered military?
It is.
I know maybe on a. I mean, are there weapons on? Like, it doesn't have like missiles that like pop out of it or anything, does it?
No.
This is a good question, everybody. I mean, because I feel like you could just jump the gun and say, yeah, it's military, but it's not. It's kind of like, because even that Osprey didn't it have like some weapons? Even the one that's the
all the Ospreys have weapons.
Yeah, so even the rescue ones still had weapons, right? I feel like the Air Force One doesn't have weapons. Now there are people on it with weapons, but we won't include any minifigs with it or something.
But there's technically people on the Concorde that have weapons too.
Dude, I would buy an Air Force One, dude.
See, everyone would buy an Air Force One.
It's not
like, you need to hire me and pay me the big bucks.
Because look, I'm patriotic, but I'm not like over patriotic about stuff. But I ain't gonna lie, dude. Like, I just feel like Air Force One would mean a little something to me. You know what I mean? Because it's not even about politics. The Air Force One belongs to every single president. You know, well, it doesn't belong to the president; it belongs to the taxpayers. But it's for every single president. It has nothing to do with either sides or nothing like that. Like, so
No More did confirm that the Air Force One is a military plane.
Well,
but it technically isn't war. I mean, they didn't say they wouldn't touch military. They said they wouldn't touch war.
I feel like there's got to be a loophole. I feel like there's got to be a loophole. Maybe we could use Pigwell's argument with the Concorde, be like, well, look, you guys don't care about the environment, so you know. So I don't know. Interesting though. It's interesting, and I mean, look, and like I said, man, the thing looks good. It does look girthy. For $200, but you know, that's me complaining about every Lego set. I also like the inner workings with this stuff. Of course, it wouldn't be Lego if they didn't put a toilet in there, would it? Oh my goodness. So, all right, everybody, that's Concorde talk. Let's jump up to something I have no knowledge about at all. Animal Crossings.
I have no knowledge about it, but man, there is a lot of hype on Animal Crossing.
Dude, Life Bricks. Dude, Tyler, you kill me, dude. He's so funny.
There's about a 3-year too late gap that Lego screwed on this whole Animal Crossing thing.
So didn't you bring that up when we were talking about it before? About like it seems like it's a long, like they waited too long about it.
I mean, so Animal Crossing is a game that just keeps updating, and it's kind of like Minecraft, but I feel like Minecraft sets have been around for just about almost as long as Minecraft has.
I mean, and it's hard for me to say because, again, I know nothing about it. I remember it being very popular. I don't hear much about it anymore, but I can only assume this is targeted towards young children.
Well, even
though the people I've seen mention it have been adults.
Have you ever seen the animals or anything on sigfigs? I mean, not sig. Sorry, I was reading the comment. Any of the like figures or people in the game or in the show?
No, dude. I've seen a couple of screenshots of the game a couple times, but it's never been enough for me to even remember it. You know what I mean?
So I was looking at this the other day. So if you look at all these characters and stuff, I mean, that shows huge potential when it comes to minifigures.
Wasn't there a set coming out too?
There's supposed to be a couple of them, I thought. This is supposed to be a whole line. So the figures and the stuff, but I mean, like, what are they going to do? Give us a minifigure body with like a head, kind of like they did with the Muppets or the what was it? The Looney Tunes? Would they just give us a head mold on a normal minifig body?
So I mean, well, here's the thing, man. And look, this is something I clearly don't know anything about. Okay, I don't know if it's good for Lego to make these or not, because and you talking about these heads makes me think about that, because clearly they're gonna have to make new molds and stuff. So I feel like it's gonna cost a lot of money to make this stuff.
Oh yeah.
And if it flops, was it worth it? Unless you're gonna make them in smaller quantities, you know what I mean. So that way, you know, you can make more if you get more orders. But
I want this game.
I don't know, man. Because look, again, I don't know the demographic. I don't know the market. I don't know how popular this game is. You know,
everybody is commenting Fabuland, and that's pretty much 100%.
Yeah, I have heard that also, because they're doing that Gabby stuff right now too. So
Pink says that Nintendo said there is no more updates on Animal Crossing. So maybe they're doing this, and Animal Crossing is about to drop a new game. I don't know.
I like this comment right here. It says they'll do anything but Zelda, but they are going to.
No, they're doing Zelda.
Yeah, but I get what he's saying, though, man.
Yeah,
but that could be said for a lot of stuff, dude. I mean,
I believe Zelda is one of those things that when they come out, like, it's weird that they kind of acquired the Nintendo licensing to do this stuff, because, like, for one, there's not a lot of people that like these Mario sets, but I mean, as you can see right here, I have just about every Mario character there is. Those Mario sets the sets might not be cool, but the figures inside of them are definitely sweet. When they have the potential to touch Nintendo, and they did, of course, Mario is probably like one of the biggest Nintendo things, and now we have Donkey Kong, which is even just as big.
I saw you were really hip to those. Then they got
I really want them, and I was gonna buy them, but I've got to a point to where I realize how dumb it is to buy a set from Walmart or Target that is like $20. If it's more than $20, just go to Lego's website and get the points. Do yourself a favor.
So one more thing I want to say before we move on past this is back to the comment that, you know, he made, you know, about like the Zelda thing. There's a lot of stuff I don't understand about maybe like Lego's decision making about certain sets, you know. For instance, like the CMFs. If they did CMF for Marvel Comics, and I'm not saying you can't do the MCU, but if they could do some for the Marvel Comics, like, do you understand the encyclopedia of characters that they have out there? And I know you could be said like, oh, well, they might not know about those characters or whatever. Dude, anybody that loves Marvel would know about at least a bunch of characters, maybe even not.
Think about it this way: that how many Batmans have they given us? They've given us. I mean,
I know, man. It's like show some other DC stuff, man. I don't know, but they used to. They used to do really good about that stuff. And look, if it's just because it's tied into movies, then I don't know, man. Like, look, there's a fine line between doing stuff good that's good for business and doing stuff that's good for fan service. And you still can make money. I don't mean fan service and lose money. Fan service, and you can even make more money. But it's kind of like with a lot of movies nowadays, where the studios are so scared. Either they're scared to put something out that's new or different, or they want to put something out that's going to please everybody. And it turns out sucking and nobody really likes it, because you just can't please everybody, man. It's the closest you got was the good Marvel movies. That was pretty much as close as you're going to get about trying to pull all kinds of different people into it.
Dude,
so
do you realize though, when they did the Marvel movies up until Endgame, everyone in like the world was watching those movies.
I know they had some duds, man, but yeah, for the most part, they had the right. And it wasn't even just lightning in a bottle, man, because they stretched it out over a decade. You know,
It's like 24 movies total.
I mean, there were certain ingredients, but you know, anyways. But the point is like, yeah, I mean, you can get a lot more cooler stuff, but Lego does what they do. That's what they do. So, yeah, I wanted to discuss the CMF stuff, the Concord, the Animal Crossing, and one more thing I wanted to show you guys as far as news goes. Where is my pictures? So I went to Walmart the other day, and I saw this. And I don't know if you guys have seen this stuff yet, but they've got 3 new sets. And I don't know across the pond, you know, or around the world, like where you would find this stuff besides Walmart, because it's, I guess, Walmart exclusive, unless you can find a Lego store or get it online. But good stuff. You know, they've got this one here with the flying car and this vehicle. You can see the other side here. And they've got.
You're not up on the screen.
Huh?
You're not up on the screen.
Really?
No.
What do you mean? It's not sharing it?
No.
What?
Now you
Really?
are.
Huh. That's weird. It doesn't share it when I blow it up like this?
Now it does, but it
Oh,
didn't. You didn't have the box loaded.
All right. So all right. So like I was saying, you can see the flying car, and then I don't know what you call this thing because it's got these boosters on the side. And then here's the other side. I love these rims. I think that's nice.
It's weird that you could build these like death race vehicles.
I know, it's crazy. Look at this one right here. Like, what are these, like missiles or something on the side, or is it just like something? Oh, it's part of the game. Arrows. Okay. I thought it was like shooting something off the side of the vehicle. But this is cool. You get this 3 vehicle combo pack. Simple yet effective. I think a lot of people's favorites are going to be these guys, the monster truck ones.
Lego.
I know this is like a, huh?
Macro said twisted metal.
Twisted metal. It does have a twisted
Dude,
metal.
if they would drop a Sweet Tooth van.
Oh my gosh. And that's crazy because the movie's out right now too. So yeah, like I said, if you have a Walmart, or I don't know if these are online, maybe on the lego.com, but yeah, I was just like, oh wow, look at that. So good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So that's really the news, you know, that we wanted to get into today. Nothing too insane. Just wanted to kind of talk about a few things because look, I don't know. I know I complain about it, you know, other hosts that have been on the show have kind of mentioned it and stuff too. But like we get shafted on the news for some reason. Just every time news comes out, it comes out like right after the show or sometime during the week. So like
12:05 p.m.
So you've already watched it on a couple of Brickheads and London Calling and everything else. You know what I mean? So when it gets nuts, it's like we're trying to talk about some different news or put it in a different perspective. So yeah, I don't know. Captain says we want more Mario figures. Really? King Oldendorf, what's going on, my friend? How you doing? They're a new Animal Crossing spinoff game next year, but it's still a rumor. King Oldendorf, I'm also sorry I forgot to tag you in the Instagram post. I've got so many minifigs, man. I know it's going to sound like an excuse, but it's just I guess I'm going to miss one once in a while. And I didn't even realize, too, when I was making the post, you can only tag or mention 20 people at a time on a post. I was like, oh, God, man, I'm going to have to make another post. And if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about the my sigfigs out in the city. You know, I keep making it more and more of a bigger thing.
I'm about to see if they have a. Go ahead. I want to see.
Oh no. Andre says hard pass on Animal Crossing. Yeah, man, I feel you on that one. I mean, that's not even me trying to be insulting. It's just I'm good. Captain says, I mean, Lego Indiana Jones just released that Nazi plane, just had no symbols on it, but it's a military plane. You got a point, and they have released stuff like that in the past, but you know, they were like, oh, that was the past, we're different now. 117, what's going on? How you doing?
Check this out.
Oh wow,
that is awesome.
Yeah, that looks good. What is that? Where do they get the disc, the print?
That's gotta be Batman, maybe? Or is it a hidden side train or something?
Anybody know? Or maybe it's a
I don't know.
special part you got to order.
I just Googled Lego Twisted Metal and that popped up. There's somebody who has apparently like a bunch of them, but I think those are all like computer generated. That was the only one I've seen that's actually like Lego.
Dude, that's hot. And look
Dude,
at on the bottom and the front and the front of the bottom. It's got the clippers.
Yeah.
Dude.
I wonder. Oh, this is the only.
Hey, what's up, Order 66 in the house? How you doing, man?
If he had anything else, he's got a bunch of vehicles, but that's dope. I'll be buying these instructions as soon as this ends.
Let's see, I'm just kind of going through the comments, seeing if any.
Fab Blondie says it's Monster Fighter's Ghost Train.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Fab Blondies. And hello and good morning, by the way. Also, Max Bricks, good morning to you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Monster trucks are pretty cool. They are. I ain't gonna lie, dude. I've always wanted to go to a monster truck show, and I've always missed out. I just miss them all the time, dude. But you know, like the commercials when they're like Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. You know, like if you're at work, quit. If you're in jail, break out. You know, it's actually that was a Simpsons reference, but yeah, good stuff. Headed to Home Depot. I'll be lurking. Right on. Thanks, Blaine. Appreciate you. Jesse's Brick Galaxy says Monster Fighters. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that, guys. By the way, let me do something really quick.
I'm looking up to see how much that piece is. Oh, it glows in the dark.
Sorry, I wanted to get a couple people that I was thinking about. I've been meaning to make some moderators.
Moderators?
Yeah, because you know, I figured
you got some people.
Yeah, which is, don't get me wrong, I'm not hating. Like I always say, man, they'd be giving me some views, man. And this one's giving me some chat analytical good stuff too. But yeah, it's good for me to have, especially recently, some extra moderators. So I made Jesse one, and I want to say I made Wayne one, and Fab, I'm gonna make you one too.
I need to do.
I'll probably have more in the future. So where were we? I can't remember what we were just discussing. Wait, what Kevin says, my dad used to take me to the Monster Jam. Oh, we're talking about monster trucks, dude. Super cool going into the pit and seeing all the trucks. Yeah, man. Dude, and some of them are just crazy massive, dude. The wheels on those things are insane. So like I said, we've got a little bit more time. We have actually reached the second hour. How about that? All right. Well, before we get into the topic at hand today, and I wanted to check the poll as well here in just a minute. I wanted to highlight something for the community corner, and that is jumper plate. I know jumper plate's out there in the chat somewhere. I know I saw them. So jumper plate had a gallery, like a Lego gallery type thing that he did. And he sent me pictures of the stuff that he had put on display, like mosaic, not mosaic type stuff, but like different pictures with toys, and like I don't know, they're really great pictures. And then of course some builds of places that are I'm assuming that he mentioned like in his neighborhood or in his general vicinity. So let me share the screen and I can show these pictures to you guys because they're really good. It's really good talent, I'll tell you. Let's see here. Okay, let me jump down here to the pictures. Where did the pictures go? Oh, come on, I can't even see it now. You know what? I must have. All right, hold on a minute. I must have like taken it off. Hold on a minute. Because I don't have any pictures necessarily of the actual gallery, even though he did send me some. I just got the pictures of the stuff that he made. Okay, here we go. I found it now. Okay. And then, like I said, after that, we will get into the topic at hand, which is LAN.
My wife is in the chat. What is up, Haley?
Hi. Oh, Haley. Oh man, I put hair in timeout. I thought I thought she was a troll at first. My bad. Sorry, Haley. All right. So this was one of the designs that he made. One of the buildings. And then here's another one. So I'm just gonna kind of scroll through them because some of them are these types of designs, and some of them are like I want to call them mosaics, but they're more like dioramas in a way.
I got a stupid question real quick. Is
Yes.
there a way to look at StreamYard on our side in full screen and see the comments?
Probably. Okay, so here's one of the like diorama pictures that he did. It's just so good, man. You know,
I only got one complaint about this. He needs to get rid of that Lion Knight shield and put a Falcon shield in.
So some of them are just, I mean, I feel like they're all pretty like random shots, but some of them are more I don't know what you call ethereal looking, and then some of them are more just kind of like everyday type situations. Like he's got the Homer Simpson X-ray in there in the back. It's good stuff, man. I love this one. Just something about the rabbit right there. It looks like he's farting, like an explosion. Just good stuff. But the way he does like the lighting effects and stuff, and there's a lot of good toy photographers out there. Whoops, I must have hit that one twice. Here's another one. Look at this. Just giant Mr. T, man. Like this. And the great thing also I like, man, is when people do random stuff. Like if you look at the people in the background, and he's got the panda, the hot dog guy back there. Really, really great stuff. The forced perspective on a lot of these, because these are toys, man. But like when you use these forced perspectives, you just, it looks gigantic. You know what I mean? And then let's see, I think there was one more. Yeah, this one. I love it. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. But definitely go check out Jumper Plate. Definitely puts up a lot of good stuff on Instagram and all that. Haley, again, I'm so sorry.
I'm kind of ashamed at you, man. That she came in and you just blocked her, and you're trying to get the trolls. You're not supposed to.
Oh, well, it was the "Hey babe" comment. That's why I was like, okay. I thought it was like, I didn't know she was saying "Hey babe" to you. You know what I mean? So that's why I thought it was like just a troll. You know what I mean? So my bad. I'm so sorry. Haley. Please accept my deepest.
So I'm gonna let you know why you've been looking and showing all those pictures. I started another screen and went in, and I've already bought the instructions for that sweet tooth. And besides the plate's like a $2 plate, but it only costs like $58 to build.
Wow, that's not bad, man. For that,
it's really not
a custom. You know what I mean?
Well, it's 500 parts, so I mean,
it's beefy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's the same size as Speed Champions, so it's.
King Oldendorf, to answer your question, Brick Babe, she's feeling a little under the weather and had a lot of stuff going on today, so she couldn't make it. Which that'll happen from time to time. There'll be times, Bearded Brix might not be able to make it. There's even been a couple times throughout the 4 years that I haven't been able to make it. So
when Hive isn't on the Sunday, that's when we'll have the party, guys.
Yeah, dude, watch. Like, you guys are gonna throw a party when I'm gone. You're gonna be like, man, where's all this mess out?
The first comment he makes, we're banning him.
And thank you, Haley, for sharing your husband with me. And I'm trying to be as gentle with him as I can. Kimmel City says, come on, Hive, it's not all about you. I know. I just, God. All right. Oh, you're welcome, Jumper Plate. And look, anybody out there, it's hard for us to do like everything is in the community corner. Celebrations are different because they're a little faster. And look, maybe Brick Babe can be much quicker and more efficient at it than me. But if you guys have stuff out there that you do like that, it doesn't have to be a gallery thing. Just something particular, special project or anything that you may be working on, even if it's not Lego, maybe you're making the world's best chili. And us chili lovers would probably want to know about that. So I'll take it. I thought it was a hot butt. Oh, I mean, look, you see a pretty lady out there saying, "Hey, babe." I'm like, oh, mute, time out. Anyways, like I said, my apologies. Oh yeah, she's okay, King. I don't want you to think it's anything, like too serious or anything like that. But yeah, she couldn't make it in today. So, let's see. Hive gets the "hey babe" all day. He's just so tired of it.
No more.
No, I don't get him.
No more wants to be blocked as a hot babe.
I don't get them all the time. Believe me. Excuse me. Oh man, you guys are making me laugh too hard. All right, so I know, right? Actually, I went down the wrong pipe.
You didn't have to take it all.
So, all right. Our topic today is LAN.
And this is when the stream ends.
All right. Before we start the conversation,
so can I start the conversation off by reading what I asked a buddy of mine's insight on LAN is?
Yeah, I just wanted to say what the poll is at right now, real quick.
Oh, all right. Go ahead.
Just real quick. So we have 35 votes. 57% of you say no, you do not think LAN is important. 43% say yes. Very interesting. Okay, what's up?
So I asked him, it's a buddy of mine that's pretty deep in the Lego community as far as a lurker. He is not very into it on social media or anything. And I just asked him, I said, in your honest opinion, what does LAN do? What does it bring to the table? That type of stuff.
Right.
He said LAN does what it is supposed to do. Lego drives feedback from their operators, and advertises their product. It's a well-oiled corporate machine in that regard. People get salty because individuals get free sets, but that's the way it is. The rich get richer type of deal. Lego only wants to admit people to LAN with larger follower bases and thus larger outreach. That makes sense from a corporate standpoint. Now, if someone makes it into LAN, they have to follow rules set by Lego. Again, that's just the way things work. That's how every corporation works. Lego will do what is best for their company, and if they do have a LAN member continuously crapping on their products, of course, they're going to cut them off. Lego isn't about altruism or play or fun. It's about profits. It always has been and always will be. Again, that's not a judgment. That's just a fact, and that's how all profit for businesses work. It sounds so pessimistic, but it's not complaining about LAN. I honestly would love to be in LAN. Who wouldn't? People seem to forget that Lego is a company driven by profits, and they are thriving. Their model works. Don't hate the player, hate the game. That's how I see it.
All right. Yeah. And that was very good insight. Very good insight. And I want to, okay. So I'm going to give everybody kind of an overall thing, of how I feel. And then we can break it down into some more detailish type stuff. But before I start that, there's different things we'll talk about, but I figured we kind of break it down into 3 different branches, and just depending on how the conversation goes and how much time we have, it might be one of these things where we'll have to do another show about it. But basically I wanted to talk about trust, not just trust with Lego and the LAN company, but look, and again, I want it, like I said in the beginning of the show, I don't want this to reflect on LAN members necessarily, but do you trust LAN members? Because the reason I say that is, like, think about like this, and it's just kind of a loose comparison, but think about celebrities that you see in commercials, and they're like, Subway, eat fresh, or, Apple iPhone, or whatever the heck it is. You know what I mean? Like, most of the time, do you think that the celebrities even care about the product or whatever, or do you think they're doing it to make a buck? Now, that's not saying that LAN members don't care about Lego, but what I'm saying is, if I was in LAN, the reason I would never be in LAN, and the reason why LAN wouldn't touch me with a 10-foot pole, is because I'm just too blunt about stuff. And yes, I can be a little bit overbearing in some of my rants and stuff like that. But if Lego does stuff, I'm going to call them out, man. And I know they don't want that kind of attention. So they want people that are not going to rock the boat. Even if they have criticism, they're going to be very light about it, very careful about it. You know what I mean? Because, you know, if you start really being completely honest about some of the stuff that Lego does, or decision making, them moving gift with purchases around, blah 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 blah, some shady practices and this and that, recycling, blah blah blah, like they're gonna kick you out, dude. You know what I
Think
mean?
about it like this though: when you go to a restaurant, you sit down and they hand you a menu. You look at the whole menu. The waitress comes to the table and you say, "I have a question. What do you feel about this dish?" They're going to tell you it's great. That is their job. Their job is to sell you. They don't. And
Right.
Also, the dumb thing about that is just because they like something doesn't mean you're going to like it, and just because
Right.
they don't like something means that you are not going to like it. There's always a plus to that.
Right. So, you know, and that's why I could do quick sponsorships maybe in the future if they came to me and asked me if I was that good enough to get sponsorships. You know, I mean, I've had some people, I don't know, people I don't even know the companies or whatever, ask me about stuff, but I'm sure people get that all the time.
I keep getting hit up on Instagram to be a commercial person for these like sunglasses, and I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, there's like different stuff people have asked, but I'm like, yeah, whatever. But the thing is, like, I could do a quick sponsorship, like a one-time thing, if I really, really enjoyed the product or I believed in it or whatever. But I wouldn't be able to do anything long term because, again, as soon as I start saying like, yeah, they suck at this or whatever, you know, I'm not gonna be good for that. You know what I mean? But a quick type thing, that's different. But I wouldn't be able to do that on a long term. I wouldn't want that on my shoulders. I wouldn't want them overbearingly looking at my channel, watching what I say. You know, I feel like I would have to mute and censor myself on a lot of stuff, you know, and it just wouldn't be me. If other people can do that, more power to them. You know what I mean? But that's why Jang is one of the best people I like watching do reviews, or definitely Ryan as well, because they're bluntly honest about stuff. You know what I mean? And they don't worry about somebody paying them to say something about like stuff like that. So, all right. So there's trust, all right, which we can come back to or whatever. But then there's ads, and what do we think? You know, LAN is really for, you know, and I'm not talking. Lugs is the third thing.
Free
Lugs is right. So yeah, we're gonna right back to that. But Lugs is the third thing, and Lugs is a different thing in itself. Because Lug is sponsored by LAN, and this is something Bearded Brix knows way more about than I do because I'm not in Lug. I don't really know much about them, but I know they're at least sponsored by LAN, which I believe Pink Wheels just said. If you're getting LAN is also supporting Lugs. In that case, I'm a yes. So Lugs is a different thing, even though I feel like, even though they're supported by Lego, they're still kind of a different thing, but that's even in two separate groups. Because there's recognized lugs and there's non-recognized lugs. And there's two clear big differences between a recognized lug and a non-recognized lug, which we'll get into that. But let's right back to the advertisement stuff. So here's the thing that a lot of people either get mad at me about on things that I say, because again, I'm not trying to pinpoint a LAN member or call them out. Look, that's their side hustle, man. You know what I mean? Whether they see it as a side hustle, whether they see it as something more, and you know, they're connecting with the community or whatever it is, or if they see it as like a step up and maybe a whole different type of professional thing that they could do for a living. Because I feel having a couple LAN members, ambassadors, makes sense. To be on social media, to travel into different places, you know what I mean? These people that represent Lego. But to have a plethora, tons of different Lego, Instagram, TikTok, you know, bloggers, you know what I mean, where they're getting free stuff, you know what I mean, because you're pushing advertisement, because that's what it is. You know, in essence, LAN members get free sets and information, you know, early release stuff or whatever, and Lego gets millions of dollars in free advertising. I mean, think about how many views Lego gets on their products just from LAN members. That's not including all the rest of us that just put their stuff out there all the time.
Free advertisement,
huh?
You can't look at it as exactly free advertisement because
it's not exactly free advertisement, but to deny that they get millions of dollars.
I mean, it's definitely they're paying $10 to get 500,000. I mean, that's the goal. But when you look at a LAN member, you have a bunch of different stuff to look at, like you're talking about. But if you're looking at people that just review sets and they're getting sets for free, I think the people that watch them are the people that are on the fence about sets, but also at the same time, a LAN member does ruin things. The Nintendo is a perfect example about that. I watched a LAN review on the Nintendo set, and I wish I wouldn't have, because I would have really liked to find out that Easter egg that was in it on my own. Once I knew about it, the whole time I was building it, I was like, well, this is going to be in here.
Well, here's the other thing too, and this kind of pulls into the trust part that we were talking about as well. The first part is, okay, one, imagine the one thing I never hear any LAN members say, and of course they wouldn't, because if that became a trend, they wouldn't be in LAN anymore, is how much the stuff costs. They'll say up and down how great the set is, or maybe not how great the set is. And I hear sometimes them talk about like, oh, it's not really worth it for this price or something, man, you know, once in a while. But if you had to pay for every set that Lance sent, would you buy it? If you had to add up all that money that you spent on those Lego sets that you got for free, would you still buy them?
No.
And that is a really, really critical part of a review, in my opinion. Because it's real easy to say, like, yeah, I think it's worth it for the money, or nah, it's not really worth it for the money. But even if it's worth it for the money, would you still buy? Would you have bought it? Would you have paid for it? You know what I mean? I have a big feeling that most of the stuff, no.
Watching stuff is better to me when you send, like, if you send a Lego set to somebody that isn't in Lego. Because if you send, like,
was it in LAN, you mean?
No, like, so for instance, you have let's say the Ghost comes out, right? They say, hey, we're gonna send this Ghost before it goes live to Hive. We want Hive to pretty much do a review on the set. You're going to look at it from a complete Lego standpoint, and then do your knowledge from the shows, the movies, and everything else to show kind of what you wanted that ship to be. Versus where if you were to send that to somebody that isn't in the Lego community but is just a Star Wars fan, it might blow their mind more because they don't know what to expect from Lego.
Yeah. And I want to make sure I make it clear to everyone. By the way, what's up, Ryan? Good morning. That I don't want it to seem like I'm just sitting here hating on it. Okay. I don't hate that LAN members get free sets. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you can't hate on, I mean, I guess you could if you really wanted to, but think about like celebrities and athletes and stuff that get paid like millions of dollars, and they really shouldn't be getting paid that much money. You know what I mean? Seriously, it's probably why a hot dog costs $12 when you go watch a ball game or something. You know what I mean? But the point is, I'm not going to be mad at them about it. If somebody walked up to me and said like, hey, you know, and it's not a sponsorship because it's more like they work for the company. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, we'll pay you millions of dollars, blah, 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 to have your YouTube channel, you know?
Do you not get paid millions of dollars?
Dude, there's going to be a lot of people that go have some jealousy and hate on it and say, you don't deserve that, Hive. Like, that's a bunch of bull crap or whatever. But I'm going to be like, yeah, but what am I going to do, man? They said they pay me. Yeah, dude, I'm not going to get mad at people for getting free sets, you know? But if you think that I'm going to find a lot of the stuff that you say completely genuine, you know, or genuine and all this, no, sorry. You know what I mean? Doesn't make me not like you as a person. It just makes me think I don't care what you say about the Lego set, you know? But yeah, so that's a big thing is I really wish a lot of them would say in the reviews, like, yeah, I would definitely not buy this, you know, and be as honest about it as possible, because I'm curious about how many more I wouldn't buy this there would be, you know what I mean? So again, it's not me trying to crap on any LAN members or anything like that. I just try and talk truthfully, you know, and have factual conversations about stuff. Of course, there's going to be opinions, but so let me see here. I won't name names, but there's one particular Lego YouTuber who's in LAN and is pretty honest with the Lego sets that Lego is releasing. I mean, Captain, if you want, man, you can message me on Instagram with the name if you want. I won't say anything. I'm not trying to target people or blow anybody up. You know, I'm not trying to throw people under the bus or send a bunch of people to hate on anybody. You know what I mean?
So have you looked at while you were talking, Googled and went to the Lego Ambassador Network. Have you looked at their rules and stuff that they have to do?
I've looked at some of them, not recently. I don't know how updated they are.
So you were saying stuff about lugs and stuff like that, and I wanted to see like what the actual rules were different for lugs. But on this, it actually says the exclusion may lead to R-Lugs, RFLMs, or R-Locks being asked to elect a new ambassador to represent them, but it may also lead to the lug being excluded as well. It is considered a branch of agreement if responsibilities cannot be met or unacceptable behavior is demonstrated by the ambassador of the lug or any of the other groups. This will initiate a new review of the status of ambassador. So, whereas a land member, they cut them off, it looks like a lug, they just find someone else to do it.
Interesting. Actually, I've heard that before too. There was somebody who was talking about a lug and the membership change. I guess the head or the leader, whatever their name is, title is for that lug group. So let's see here. Macro says based on purchases and strictly on land reviews, they're the expert and probably have built way more Lego than the rest of us. More followers must mean more knowledge, not necessarily Macro. But I would agree to a lot of it. But dude, the Lego community is so big, man. You could find tons of people that are incredible mock builders or do great reviews and stuff on stuff and don't have nothing to do with land. So I mean, Jang is a perfect example of that. Jang doesn't want anything to do with land, and he makes it very clear in all of his reviews that they are opinions of his own. You know what I mean? So he doesn't worry about what Lego, thinks about his reviews. So, I mean, while I agree a little bit with that statement, I definitely don't agree with most of it. But, I mean, I totally understand if that's, a lot of people are drawn to that, I mean, because I guess you would feel like, well, if they're on land, they've got to know everything they're talking about and this and that. And no, not really. I mean, and look, like I said earlier, I think there should be ambassadors for Lego in social media that travel to cons and stuff like that represent Lego and stuff like that. But dude, it's just oversaturated, man. Anytime a new set comes out, just look on Instagram and YouTube. What do you see? Just
there's already
all the new stuff, man. All these reviews and all and all these unboxings and hauls and stuff like that. Like my land, and again, I'm not trying to crap on it. I'm just trying to put things in perspective. You know what I mean?
One of the things I've always wondered is I know that they have a certain timeline to get done, but if me and you are both land members and Lego both sends us a brand new set, it's up to me and you to get it done by a certain point to put the review out there, like on YouTube or something, or however they want to do it.
Right.
But what I think is crazy is the people that get beat to the punch. Like when it comes to Star Wars land members or whatever, I don't know if he is, but I believe David Hall is at the top, right?
I don't know.
Solid Brick Studio, like he always gets like Star Wars, like that's the only thing he does. Blah blah blah.
I've seen him get other stuff randomly or whatever, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Somebody's beat him to the punch because there's already reviews out there of the New Republic gunship.
Yeah, yes, a lot of people are getting hip to like if they find sets early, I mean, putting the video out, and dude, more power to him, man. You know what I mean? Because David's constricted or restricted by these policies where even if he found the set, he's not gonna be able to, post it early like that. So, like I said, it's fine. I will say if anybody wants to be salty about anything, and again, I'm not, I don't care, you know what I mean? But if you want to be salty about anything, land members definitely have really cracked, put a big crack in the Lego YouTube world, as far as like with other creators trying to put out like sets and stuff. Because dude, if you do reviews, again, if you get set early or if you're just really good, like Josh who builds stuff, like he's a perfect example of that. Like I don't think Josh is in land, but like he's able to do stuff to where he can compete. Anybody, like most people though, man, you can't compete with land members, dude. Like you're not gonna compete with like them getting sets early and them getting all the sets they don't have to spend money on or whatever. And so, I mean, again, I don't care. I don't even do reviews, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, yeah, it definitely makes it difficult for a lot of other YouTube creators. You know what I mean? When you've got Lego supporting you, and you're trying to compete with that. And yeah, I say compete. I know it's not the most friendliest of things, but you know, if you're trying to grow your channel, you're competing with everybody out here, man. If you're just doing it for fun and, you know, just want to like hang out with people, man, you don't care. But if you're like actually trying to like grow your channel, then yeah, you're definitely gonna have a hard time. So that's, you know, one aspect of it. Neither good nor bad, you know, it's just, it is what it is. Because look, it's not like Lego's the only people that do this. You look at other people out there, man, and they're sponsored by watches, cameras, tech, other games, you know, toys, you know what I mean? Like Funkos, you know, it's like people, this is not just exclusive to Lego, you know what I mean? The difference with Lego is it's more personal.
The thing about the other side of that too is like when it comes to sponsorships, I'm actually sponsored by three different companies. Now, I don't get stuff for free, but I do get stuff heavily discounted to use their products. So go back and you look at LAN. If LAN members had the ability to review sets, but the only way they could get the set is if they paid for them at a discount, would there be as many LAN members or people reviewing stuff?
That's a really good question as well. And look, there is no right or wrong answer. You know what I mean? Because that's why I want to make sure everybody understands that I have a perspective and opinions, some factual, some not, about LAN members and all that stuff. But like what he read in the beginning from the LAN member he talked to, like, it's don't hate the player, you hate the game. You know what I mean?
They're going to do whatever they have to do to grow their company.
Right. If somebody reaches out to Bearded Brix, if LAN reaches out to Bearded Brix tomorrow and was like, yeah, we want you to be in LAN, dude, I'm not going to be like, Rich, you know, like, what the heck, man?
Oh,
like,
I'll sell out immediately. I'll sell out. Give me 3 sets.
But it's, and I'm sure it's more than, look, it's more than just the sets too. You know, I understand that. Being part of that LAN, being part of something official Lego, that's a big deal, man. I get it. Whatever the reasons for it is, whatever, but I get it. You know what I mean?
The stuff that sucks is that everything you have to do as a LAN member, though, because it's not like they just give you free sets to review. Right. You have to get in communities. You have to post things about it. You have to go to LAN's website and do stuff on there. Like, it's not just, hey, here's a review of this set that Lego gave me for free. There's a bunch of stuff behind all of that. But I believe that All Bricks Count said it absolutely best. As a reviewer and watching stuff online, I don't know, or not as a reviewer, but if you're watching reviewers online, I don't know that I have ever watched anybody do a review and then go, okay, I've got to go get that set. He hit it on the head when he said that he thinks that AFOLs look at a set, look at what it costs, look at what it's made of, how it looks, and that's how they make their mind up. They don't go and just buy a set off of a review. So is a review more based like with younger kids? Because even in that sense that a younger kid doesn't have the money to get it, like I guess half the teenagers, if you look at a T-Fall and there's a set that comes out, they absolutely love the whole thing behind it and they want it. They have to convince their parents to go and get it. Do their parents do anything with that?
Beats me, dude. It beats me, man.
Because, like, if you think about it that way, then LAN is absolutely useless.
Well, look, it's different for everybody. You know, like Gabriel's comment that I just highlighted a minute ago, you know, he says, like, some of the ones he watches, you know, he really values their views and opinions and stuff like that. And, dude, Gabriel, man, I really want to make sure you and everybody understands, like, I really respect that. If you know, I'm just going to pull a LAN member out of my butt, you know, like Emmasaurus, okay? If you love like watching Emmasaurus's reviews on stuff and her LAN content or whatever, man, dude, that is awesome. And Em's a great person. You know what I mean? Like, I have no beef with Em at all, dude. I think she's wonderful. I've known her quite a while now, you know, in the community and stuff. And of course, you know, Ross, you know, I girl crush on Ross all the time. You know, it's just, I have a heart, and this isn't just LAN members. This is like I said in the beginning, celebrities with commercials and even other people in different pop communities, you know, toy communities. You know, anytime anybody's sponsored by anything, I just have distrust for their general opinion on the topic. It's not them personal. Other opinions on different subjects, man. Of course, it's different. I just feel like when you've got somebody sponsoring you, like it's hard to distinguish sometimes what might be a real criticism and what might be fluff because you don't want to be kicked out of that institution. You know
So
what I
all
mean?
bricks count just posted something else that I highly, highly, highly agree with. Land members should land should redirect their efforts. He said instead of sending free sets, find other ways to support AFOL YouTubers, send them to toy shows, do things to stimulate the fan base, or give away or other stuff. Now, Land does give away free sets to lugs to give away to their members. They do have that, and they give away like for instance, there's a ton of stuff where you in a lug you're supposed to have. I know this is going to kind of transition to the other half of what we were talking about, but
Right.
in a lug, you to be a recognized lug, to do actually your due diligence to Lego, you have to have meetings. You have to talk about things. They want you to know, like, talk about what's going on, set up conventions. Like my lug has, I think we still have 5 more conventions this year. And it's not necessarily ones that are our conventions, but like Brick Convention is going on in Greenville at the end of this month. I'm going to it, and if you look at the layout, my whole lug is there. Like that, there's not very many people displaying that aren't my lug. And having that type of community in a land aspect is a lot better, because I don't know how to really. So this is a better way to put it. I had a buddy the other day I was trying to talk to him about getting in a lug, and he was like, basically, what can the lug do for me? But the lugs do a ton of work. Like if you're building something, you're trying to mock something, and you say, man, I really don't know how to do this, and I want to figure out a better way to do this. You can always reach friends to do that. But there is actually on my phone, I'm in 2 different lugs, and only one of them's recognized. The other one I'm not really a member of. I'm just in the state that it's in. I literally could message on there right now and say, hey, I'm really trying to build this on the new castle. How do you think that I could get this to work? Here's my idea. And the support behind that is great. They would message me almost instantly with ideas. So lug members do what?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, so when Land reaches out to lug members and stuff, having a lug is a much better representation of Land than I would look as a YouTuber getting free sets to review.
Yeah, I agree. And I want to discuss lug because that's something we haven't really dived into quite heavily yet. But I want to say really quick that, so this is something everybody would probably be surprised of me saying. I think that Land members should be paid. I think they should be on a payroll, honestly, because I'm not saying they're clocking in, working on 9 to 5 or whatever, but dude, they're in Lego marketing. They're marketing Lego, and they should be compensated for it, not with a freaking set that, by the way, Lego is giving these sets out. But if you think they're not writing these things off as a tax write-off and getting some money back, dude, I'm telling you, Lego's not dumb about this stuff. So Lego's not only getting millions of dollars in free advertisement, getting all this publicity that Land members give them, you know what I mean? Because I'm not saying all Land members, and not even just Land members. I see some people in Lego community, dude, Lego could put pieces of crap wrapped in tinfoil and everybody would still be like, day one. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Lego doesn't put out not only does not Lego not put out everything that's great, but some of this stuff, I'm like, why are you even making that, Lego? Like, really? So, okay. So, yeah, I think Land members should be paid, honestly. And I think that would also start limiting and maybe even having a better structure of the Land members and stuff. And you know what? And that's the thing is, okay, you're going to be part of Lego, this ambassador network. You're going to get maybe some information free. You'll get some free sets. But beyond that, man, look at all we've said the rules and stuff that you're constricted by and restricted by or whatever. So if you're going to make me follow all these rules and stuff, then you should be on the payroll, man. You know what I mean? Even if it's not like a lot of money, at least something. So, all right, let's jump into lugs, because that's a whole nother aspect to this. And it's a weird aspect because lug represents Lego, but not anywhere in there in the same way as a Land member does. Lug represents, well, let's start with recognized lugs. are different than not recognized lugs. And this is something I didn't really even realize or even knew existed at first. But let me ask all of you before I sound like, I'm being condescending about this. Non-recognized lugs and recognized lugs both have one thing in common. People, I'm sure, love Lego. They love building stuff. They love being part of this networking, like smaller, tight-knit community of other fans that might be local and sometimes not local, but at least connected through the internet. The difference is the recognized lug gets not free. I don't know about the free stuff. I don't know what kind of free stuff you might get, but you definitely get good discounts on bulk pieces and stuff like that. I would imagine also
we get free sets. The free sets are pretty much the way we do it is every month we have a monthly meeting, and the monthly meeting kind of goes just like how you do your giveaway every month. Everybody that shows up to the meeting that's active in the community gets put on a board. The board is spun or however they do it, and a number is drawn. The number goes to another person, and we win the free set. Pretty much, it's a way to, and it's not necessarily like a. I don't want to make it sound like they're not giving us UCS sets. We're not getting these $200-$300 sets. We're getting like $50 sets and stuff like that. It's nothing. It's nothing crazy. Right.
But it's still definitely some nice perks.
Yeah.
Just like everybody knows on AFOL day, I get all pissed off because I'm like, it's not AFOL day, it's lug day. Stop saying AFOL day. I'm an AFOL. I can't walk into Lego and get a discount. You got to be in a lug. But so that's the whole thing. And by the way, what's up, Richie? How you doing? He says all of us hating from outside the club. Look, dude. Everybody in the comments, because I haven't been able to read every single comment yet. But if you think there's good things about LAN, and I'm not talking your favorite YouTuber, getting a set that you like to watch. I'm talking about like what, because your favorite YouTuber can review the set without LAN. What is LAN providing that is really good? You know what I mean? Because I want everybody to understand, just because you point out stuff that you think is wrong with it or stuff that you don't agree with, it's not just about hating. Because I just said LAN members should get paid. I mean, that's a pretty good thing. You know what I mean? So it's about putting things into perspective. But I understand why it seems like hate. But I don't want anybody to think that. That's why I said in the beginning, like, I don't want you to think I'm just crapping on LAN. It's not just about that. It's about having a very objective lens and seeing stuff like, what's good, what's bad, what works, what doesn't, what's important, what's not. But yeah, so back to the lug. So that's the big difference between the recognized and non-recognized lugs is a non-recognized lug is just a lug. It's just a Lego user group. They get together, they do things, you know what I mean? Same thing as a recognized lug, but again, it's the support from Lego.
The difference there is in our lug has the support, but they have and our lug has guidelines and rules it has to follow by. I mean, technically, everybody in this chat and us two can make a lug, but it doesn't do anything. All we're doing is calling ourselves a lug, and we're putting it in the system or whatever. A registered lug is a lot different. A recognized lug is, I mean, if you were to create the Hive lug and you go to a show and you put up Hive lug, the only reason, like a banner that says Hive lug, the only reason you did that is to pretty much show that you've got a lug. But now if I go up somewhere and put up SC Bricks, it's showing support for something that is bigger. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Richie, it's an interesting comment. I think we need to stop referring to RLFM as LAN. Yes, they're in LAN, but from what I understand, the original purpose was about supporting lugs to share the brick at person's events around the world. Okay, so your comment goes into twofold. All right. One, what you said about the lug part, that's a good thing. That's a good thing that LAN does.
Everything that LAN does for lugs is good.
And just like even with the non-recognized lugs, because I wanted to make sure everybody even understood that those comparisons, I wasn't trying to be hateful about it. If there are certain criteria or things that you've got to do to get into a recognized lug, then the unrecognized lugs, if they want to be recognized, then that's the criteria they have to be. And I don't blame Lego at all for that. If you're going to support groups, then they need to abide by rules. You know what I mean? You can't just be willy-nilly, just, whatever. There's got to be structure. So that is a really good thing. Now, to the other half of your comment, why do you think that we all, when we think of LAN, we just think of Lego YouTubers now, pretty much, or Lego Instagram people or TikTok or whatever?
Well, that's
because they dominate the social media, man. A lot of people, like, especially if you're new in the community, you probably don't even think lugs are part of LAN. You know what I mean? And just like when they say AFOL Day, I know I'm silly for, always being petty about it. You know what I mean? But dude, call it what it is. You know what I mean? So it's
all that. A lot of it is, that's a drive to get you to go against what you're saying right there. Is all that is it's a drive to get you in a lug. If you go to every AFOL Day as a non-lug member, why wouldn't you just join a lug to help support Lego in order to get whatever?
Excuse me, did you say join a lug to help support Lego? Do you know how many thousands of dollars I've given Lego? I support Lego plenty. So I don't need to join a lug to do it.
Then why wouldn't you just join a lug?
Because a lug is a much bigger thing than me just going and maybe getting a slight discount on AFOL Day. What are you talking about?
But that's what I'm saying. The AFOL Day is there to support the lug.
Well, then call it Lug Day. Jesus. I mean, that's the whole point of me saying that, man. Like, it's so deceiving. Look, I didn't know that. And I mean, yeah, I felt dumb, but it was more about like, what are you guys doing? Like, I thought AFOL Day was for AFOLs, like I'm clearly an adult fan of Lego. I walk into a Lego store. I could get a discount. You stamp a card or something. I don't know. Put it on your VIP account. I don't know. But the point,
why haven't you joined a lug then?
The reason I haven't joined a lug is because I don't want to get the benefits and not be able to put the work out. I don't think that's fair. If I'm going to join a lug,
there's not really a true benefit of a lug like that, though. So a lug, you could be in a you could be in a lug and not get anything out of it. To get anything out of a lug is only going to kind of coincide with what you give.
Well, even if it was non-recognized lug and you get the enjoyment of like being with other AFOLs, and building and whatever the case may be, that AFOL, but I don't have time for that. You know what I mean? I don't have time to go to meetings. I don't have time to put any energy into it. So I don't want to join one and get the notoriety of it. Or if it's an unrecognized lug, I'll be there for when we get bulk, I don't want to do all that, you know what I mean? And not be committed. That's why, one day, maybe I will. If I didn't have a full-time job, I'd probably join a lug because I'd have more time.
I mean,
I've
met a lot of, most of my, 70% of my friends in the Lego community have came from YouTube, but there's a ton of people that I talk to on a daily basis because of my lug or that I'm associated with these people.
Yeah, and many people have asked me. I mean, especially a couple people from Charm, because I live here. Charm City lug is a big one. There's I was either North or South Carolina. There was a guy I met at Brick Fair a couple years ago. He was telling me to join, and I could just go online and do it. But it's the same thing, it's a commitment that I can't give, and I don't feel right, receiving any benefits from it, whether it's recognized or non-recognized. But I don't, like I said, put the commitment into it, So that's really why. I mean, I just think it is a fair thing. I don't want to take advantage of it.
As a mock builder, a lug is probably one of the best things that you could ever get into.
I agree. And I do want to join one eventually, recognized or not, because I feel it's an even more personal part of the community because you see these people in person. Well, unless you're doing it online, but even then you're still part of something, and that feels good, but I don't know. I'm wishy-washy with stuff, man. I might be committed to it, and then all of a sudden, I'll go to the Brick Fair, and I've got my own section of my own build. I won't do nothing with, the lug.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. You don't necessarily have to. I think you're looking at it as it's more than it really is.
Maybe I usually do that.
I went to Brick Fair, and I didn't display with my lug. I mean, that really.
Well. Yeah, but to be fair, also, you definitely got a huge mock.
So when
Like,
you,
it's
when
not
you
like you
set
had a little
up-
mock and you could build something with them.
well, I mean, like, so for instance, if I guess another really good thing about Lug and what I've learned is it brings you to another side of a community, and if you're a mock builder, you have the opportunity to do things that you might not always have. But at the same sense, I'm saying that, and there's a collaboration that I'm a part of right now that no one in my, like, none of the guys that are in it are in my Lug at all. But the opportunities that a Lug, I guess, gives you, if you were to kind of go in there and say, hey, let's all collaborate and I want to do a massive Star Wars mock. There's a couple people that will jump in the boat and say, all right, let's nail this down. And that community side of it is really cool. I have nothing negative to say about Lug other than the part that I have nothing bad to say about Lug. The stuff that I would have to say negative are about the people that I have met in Lugs. That makes sense.
That does make me want to say something real quick too. Yeah. I also I've heard different Lug members, even around the world, criticize different things, maybe about something maybe Lego did that they didn't agree with about handling a Lug, or maybe a rule or something like that. But for the most part, yeah, I haven't heard any issues. I think like that's why, even though Lug is a branch of LAN, I felt like it was almost a completely separate kind of conversation.
Well, I mean, there's the people that come into play and come into a Lug just because they want discounted Lego and want that stuff. And if that's the reason you're getting into it, don't, because you will be sought out pretty quick.
Yeah,
we kick people out for that. It's not. We don't want you benefiting us just for your own good.
But also, I want to say one other thing too. Hey, what's up, Shy? How you doing? And I don't know if Lego pays attention to some of these things or not, or if maybe just because they've got so many LAN members and Lug things going on, they can't just keep track of everybody. But I'm going to say something. And I'm going to say a curse word. I don't normally do this on Good Morning Brick World.
Dun, dun,
So,
dun, dun.
So you got about 20, I'm going to.
Everybody pull out your phone.
If you don't want to hear, it's not going to be the F-bomb, but if you don't want to hear a curse word, just mute this for about 10 seconds. There are some people in LAN that are assholes. And I feel don't even deserve to be in LAN. And I don't understand like I said, if Lego sees some of the stuff they say, their attitudes, their demeanors, but for people that represent Lego, there's a few of them out there, man. I'm like, really? Okay.
I wish I would have known what sentence you were going to say. I would have just muted the part.
I know. I got to get the center beep
beep,
ready to go.
Beep.
One of these days I want to get that because like I have the applause thing on the phone, but one of these days I got to get one of those soundboards, that people have. Yeah, have all these different. Because we need a few, like the like that noise with the drums after we say a bad joke or something. Anyways, so yeah, LAN isn't perfect as far as that aspect goes. I've seen, I'm not going to call out LAN members right now. It's not the right thing to do, but I've seen some of them talk some pretty harsh things about people, or the community, or things that they would do. There was one that said they would sabotage other creators, man, just to help their own channel and stuff like that. It's like, so yeah, it's very few of them, but there's definitely a couple of them out there. All right. Anyways, so yeah, I this was a subject I've wanted to talk about for a long time. A lot of these subjects that I bring up on the show are ones that I probably would have made videos about, gotten a little bit maybe more into detail about some things, but I like some of these to be discussions, with everybody in the chat or with my co-hosts, because things aren't always, clear or black and white. Some things are a little more complex. Some things it's easy from the outside to look in and say like, oh yeah, that's stupid, but there might be a good reason for it. The biggest thing I got out of this conversation today with everybody is that the best thing LAN is for is Lug. To help the smaller communities grow and build and use their creativity and putting their heads together, and either building a collaboration, or helping each other build more, like better mocks, teaching them, because that's and it's interesting enough, that's kind of like the thing that's separated in land, that's kind of separated out here in our community and world too. There's people that walk the fine line between mocks and sets, but there's clearly a lot of people that are on either side. And some of them are civil, and some of them look at each other like they're, whatever. But
there's still also another side of that too, of modding a set. Just because you take a set and you add 4 or 5 pieces to change something doesn't mean that's a mod.
Yeah, modifications and mocking are two total, and I've tried to make sure I've used that too, because I've done a lot more modifying sets than I have of mocking. I've only done 1 or 2 mocks, of like true mocks. I mean, I guess you can call like the beach and the city and all that a mock, but that's a little more elaborate and long term than just building something to display. But yeah, there's a difference between, and again, not good or bad. There's a billion different reasons to get into Lego. Some people literally just get pure therapy, from just building a Lego set. How good it feels, when those pieces click, coming together, or just the calmness of it. Some people can't do it like that. Like, some people look at it like artwork. Like, I've got an idea, I have to build this. You know what I mean? And there's no right or wrong thing. It'd be interesting to see what Lego would be like if it didn't have any IPs, but it just did its own stuff, or just started just pushing out like just blocks, like like their creative kits or whatever. But that's a whole nother conversation we'll have a topic for. But yeah, this was just something I wanted to definitely have a conversation with all you guys about. I don't think there's necessarily right or wrong answers. It's a lot of perspectives and opinions, but LAN is a huge thing in our community. It's a huge thing that overhangs above a lot of us. You know what I mean? Whether it's creators that we're tied to, whether it's information, whether it's, I always talk about how like our Lego world just moves fast, man. Like we're already looking at talking about sets that are coming out in January. You know what I mean? Like,
we've already found out what we're getting next year for the May the 4th promo.
Right, dude. So like, it just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop, man. So anyways, but please, everybody, don't pull out of these conversations. And I know how I talk and my demeanor and how I sound and stuff. Like, I don't hate any LAN members. I don't like all of them, but I don't really hate any of them. And I don't want anybody to throw shade at anybody. It is what it is. There's a purpose for everything.
Lego, if you're watching, I'll be a LAN member. Give me free Lego.
Yeah, Lego. This guy, he's all about it. I can tell you. I can tell you with one.
Cool. It is awesome. This is a good gate. Everyone should go buy this gate.
I mean, look, and I say this with no hate. I just can tell you with 100% confidence, man. I will never want to join LAN. I never. And it's not because like, oh, I'm too good. It would be too much pressure. I'd be just too scared to really be my complete honest self about stuff.
It is a job.
Yeah. And look, yeah, it is. It doesn't mean like, oh, they're working harder than somebody maybe digging a ditch. That's not really what I'm meaning. But like, you still have to abide by rules. You still have to have a schedule. You still have to do certain things. Imagine if you didn't like doing reviews. You know what I mean? But you got to review this stuff. You know what I mean? So
I hate doing reviews.
I know, man. I'm not. Sometimes it's all right. Depends on the set.
The crappy thing about doing a review is like, even with the LAN members, a thing to say positive about them is they have to kind of do their research for a lot of stuff. You can't just be given a set and expect to know, why this brick is black on the side of the mountain. Like there has to be research done to know some of the stuff.
Right. Yeah. And then, like sometimes, sometimes you think like, wow, that person should be a LAN member and they're not. It's like, because they know a lot about that stuff or whatever, or just somebody that knows, like for instance, like, I don't know if he'd have the best attitude for it, but Sans would be like a perfect LAN member, because his knowledge for Lego, like there's tons of things I don't agree with Sans about, you know what I mean? But like his knowledge for Lego is almost unprecedented, dude.
There's definitely people out there that I met a guy at Brick Fair, Virginia, who's the same way. The knowledge that they have about Lego and their set, like
Dude.
he can just name set numbers off the top of his head, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, man. Because Lego has a lot of history, you know what I mean? And a lot of us, we've only been in the community for a few years or something like that, you know what I mean? So, yeah, agreed, Hoarder. His Lego knowledge is like above all else, man. It's insane, dude. It really is. All right, well, look, it's been a great show, everybody. You know, like I said, this is something I really wanted to talk about a little bit, and we'll probably talk about it more. We'll probably bring it up and have the subject again. Because these conversations are usually just too big to try and contain in 1 hour. And I was gonna ask a few LAN members to come on, but I don't know. Guests have been a little wishy-washy, you know, some of them, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I didn't want to try and set something up and then it not go through. And to be quite honest with you, I don't know what the kind of conversation would have turned into in an hour.
And fight.
I mean, look, I just want to leave off that whatever anybody gets out of LAN or LAN members and stuff, man, like kudos to you, dude. Honestly, just because I don't agree with some things or have a different opinion about stuff, man, doesn't mean I'm right about anything. You know, if you have creators or if there's news that you get from it, or if you just like all that, you know, I mean, dude, yeah. And of course, like I said, Lugs, that's a whole different thing, man. I think Lugs is one of the best things that come out of LAN and what they can do. So I don't know. Just like I said, you know, it's a complex subject, you know, and there's not really any right or wrong answer. So on that note, Bearded Brix, you want to shout anything out, man? Plug anything? Complain about anything before we get out of here?
Got a huge collaboration going on right now. The castle is coming apart, but it is not coming apart for good. It is being rebuilt in a different kind of. I wanted to make it better. I've seen a bunch of stuff that is that's above my knowledge and thoughts. So now I am incorporating that in my build, and there'll be videos coming out to continue, I guess, the series on the castle. And we're going to be doing, well, I'm going to be doing almost like a stop motion movie thing about this collaboration.
Nice, nice.
And for the replay gang, thanks for watching.
Oh yeah, replay gang. Goodness gracious, man. I can't believe I didn't say hi to the replay gang in the beginning. Yeah, thank you, replay gang. We appreciate and love you so much.
What about you?
What's that?
So what about you? What you got going on?
Well, man, all kinds of random stuff. I say this every week, man, and everybody's tired of hearing about it, but I promise it's coming. I'm making a video about Lego and their whole thing about, you know, only the best is good enough and stuff. So everybody understands exactly what it is. It's not just like a crap on Lego itself. It's
only the best is good enough.
I just different creators I want to interview and just ask them about different themes, you know, and just some critiques that they have, not just Star Wars. There's, you know, a couple different other themes too. And the reason being is because, you know, as always, everybody hears me talking about, like, if Lego's gonna make claims about stuff, then I'm gonna hold them to it. You know what I mean? Because I understand people can make mistakes and you can't be perfect, but that's why you don't make these claims. You know what I mean? So that's what the video is about. It's a really difficult video to make because I'm trying to put stuff as articulate as I can without like just going like, F Lego. You know, I'm trying to really bring out facts and stuff. And then get together with people. You know, Tyler Lightbricks, he'll be the first one that I'm going to interview about Star Wars stuff. You know, I'm going to interview like Adora builds about some friend stuff. You know, so yeah, it should be a pretty good video. On top of that, I've got 2 stop motion videos that I'll be coming out with maybe tonight. It depends. They're not really crazy or big or nothing like that. One's a commercial for Good Morning Brick World. Ninja, if you watch this on the replay gang, you're in it for like a hot second. And then the other one is the hat stop motion video I was making a while back. Like, I filmed the whole thing, but the reason I just didn't work on it anymore is because I found this new thing in my app where you can like make the mouth move and all that different facial expressions and everything. So I was like, oh, let me do that. So I filmed the whole thing almost with like a blank face. But the problem is I've got like almost 3,000 shots in it. So that means there's 3,000 pictures. I've got to meticulously go into each one and change the face, change the mouth, change it, and not only change it, but like match it up to what he's saying. I was like, good Lord, dude. Like it took me forever to do like 3 seconds.
Ninja just came in and said, do you need some vocals?
Oh, I might, Ninja. I'm pretty sure I still have the one where you go cha, but I need you to do like a cha, but like to make a. I don't want to give it away. All right, I'll message you, Ninja. I'll message you. I don't want to give it away because it's kind of funny. So, anyways, so yeah, I got a couple of that stuff coming out, and then I got to do a new intro and outro for Good Morning Brick World because I didn't get to make new ones. I know the one looks new now, but it was off my sigfig update video that I just made. So yeah, man, I got random stuff going on, but with me, you never know. It's crazy. I got a week in review coming out here soon and stuff. So, all right, well. Oh, and also everybody, if you just hopped in, if you didn't know, like I was saying earlier today, like Brick Babe she couldn't be here today. She got a lot of stuff going on, and I think she was feeling a little under the weather. So just nobody freak out. Like I was saying earlier, I didn't lose another member.
Everybody freak out, man.
I'm just gonna do what everybody thinks I'm gonna do. Anyways, Ninja said laugh out loud, straight out of bed, 2 whoop salute, whoop whoop, cha. All right, everybody. Thank you again for being with us. We appreciate you. The show would be nothing without all of you. And we will see you on the flip side. Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out.